Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. I am here with another Tuesday tea time with Chala. Here's my tea. It is post-workout sweaty session for me today. I am trying very hard to do a reverse diet where I'm trying to gain more muscle and eat more because I've been eating at 1350, 1400 calories. Before that, in the 2 years before that, I was eating at 1100 to 1200 and like exercising like crazy. All bad stuff. I've found out, and I've slowed down my metabolism. I'm 52 years old. We don't need this happening to our bodies. So what I'm trying to do is reverse that to 2000 calories, of course, gradually. And I'm trying to lift harder. And yeah, it's especially on a hot day like this, it is a challenge. So, hot day, hot tea. So, thank God I have air conditioning blowing right here up the shorts, which is always good. And I am here today. It is a jubilant Tuesday tea time because last week I hit record sales. Record. I think I was telling you when I did the last week, I had already made my year from last year. I had already met the same sales as last year, and it was only mid year, and then it just kept snowballing after that, and it went on and had one of the biggest sales months of my 9 years, which is crazy because we're still in relatively lockdown. Things are being opened very slowly in Canada, but I wanted to share with you, uh, open up the curtain and show you behind the curtain, look at where I'm getting all these sales, right? And so I am a marketing expert and a sales expert, but basically I'm a marketing strategist. So I help design your business and position it and position your message in a way that's going to attract your target, and your message is going to be resounding with them and it's going to be converting. So having said that, even though I know exactly who my target is and I know exactly the message that resounds with them, I have many, many, many different ways of reaching out to them. So hopefully you'll gain some insight into what I'm doing and maybe try some of these funnels on your own, or reach out to us and I can show you how I'm using it and how to use it in your business. So, one of the first things is podcasting. So I got two new clients from podcasting in the last month, and my programs are expensive programs. They're not online do it yourself. They're in the thousands. So what I've been doing ever since COVID hit, the first thing that I did when I lost the stages where I used to speak, and to make money, is I thought, well, the new stages are podcasts. So I got myself as a guest. I got a booking agent to get me as a guest onto shows. That was my first, introduction into it. And it was a good introduction, but I didn't really get any of the hosts wanting to hire me, or anybody who had listened to me on their shows wanting to hire me. Unfortunately, I mean, I got lots and lots and lots of calls. I got lots and lots and lots of interest, but they were not of the caliber of client that I usually deal with, who are multi-million dollar CEOs of, large companies that manage at least 15 people. And so they weren't the kind of person that I wanted. But how podcasting has made money for me is I met another type of agent who actually books guests for you, and that was the funnel, and we've been using that to target people that we think are going to be a good fit for us as a client, and we invite them to talk about their company. And so it's a win-win, because even if they're not ready to buy right now, they can get into their networks. You have exposure to their community through the content that you're creating with them. They have exposure to yours. It's just a win-win, and content is a win for everyone. And good content, if they're good at what they do, they have something to say about what they're doing, and it's just exposure all around. So that's been a good win. So that's funnel number one, is behind the curtain look at my sales funnel, is podcasting. Now, one of the other things that we're trying, and listen, like I am giving you all my trade secrets here that I'm paying people to teach me, um, is article writing. So I used to do, it's called marketing, interview marketing. And even it's very famous. People can write books and try to interview their prospects to compile a book. And this is being used, this it's been used for all eternity. I mean, Napoleon Hill went and Think and Grow Rich, that book he actually wrote from asking for meetings with really, really rich and successful people. That's how he put that book together. And so that's what I have been doing even before podcasts existed. I would ask to interview people that I thought would be my prospects, and ask to interview them for an article or a blog or a vlog or whatever it is. So we're also using article writing as well as podcasts to attract and invite our prospects to guest as our content. So number two is email marketing. And email marketing, of course, is so ubiquitous. It's just everywhere. It's so doable. You can press a button and send an email, yes. But and I've done and I've studied so many different ways. There are different kinds of campaigns. There is the maintenance type where you're constantly in their worlds, giving them a flavor of you, a flavor of your personal life if you want, and some advice on what their problem is in that industry or segment of whatever, whoever they are. So email marketing has netted me clients. And yes, email marketing can open the doors to actual product sell. So for example, one of the things that's going to be coming up is we're going to be doing a summit for putting together like 20 of my best guests for the Naked Marketing podcast, where we're going to be asking all of the 20 participants who have guested on my show to send it to their list so that everybody cross-pollinates across everybody else's list. So in effect, it's a form of joint venturing where we're all going to be selling one thing or another to each other's audience. So that's how I'm using email marketing, and it was responsible for bringing in some sales in the last month. Number three is, you always hear me talking about my live events. I am live streaming like crazy. Even now I've started to live stream my podcast into this very group. This is my, very own private group. It's called the B2B. It's now called the CEO Society. So if you're not a member, go ahead. If you make over $100,000, you're going to find other people who are like you in that group, and you go to repositioner.com/society to apply. And then we'll see if you're the right fit for this group. If you're not, then we have other groups for you. And so in the live events, I have master classes. So for example, in the last week, I did the master class. It was called the sales. It was called the Lead Gen Masterclass, how to leverage your elevator pitch. And every other month, we try to repeat that, because it is an excuse for us to reach out to our prospects. It is an excuse to nurture our prospects who aren't ready to buy yet. And it's an excuse for us to put our content out there. And it gives us content. It gives our audience something to hold on to. And through the live events, I even get referrals, because the people that want to speak to me through having met me through the live events that my team reached out to, and they weren't ready to work with me, but they now understand the specialized nature of what I do. And so they will refer someone. And that's in fact how I got one of my $30,000 clients this past week. Was it a week or a week and a half ago? So that's another behind the look curtain at my sales funnel, is live events. Number four is, of course, LinkedIn prospecting. Now, I learned about LinkedIn prospecting when I lost my ability to travel to the US and to speak at large conferences. And I paid a coaching program a lot of money at the time when I didn't have any income. I had no hopes of income, and I was deferring my mortgage, and I was literally in the fetal position. And I learned that there is something called social selling, that you can actually hire people mostly offshore or VA type, where you can I mean, that was the starting point for me, where it's a volume game. So you're reaching out to large volumes of people of your target group on LinkedIn, because there's literally, over a billion people on LinkedIn. And then you try to reach out to them, and you try various scripts on them, you try various methods of getting them to respond. And you get them to sign up to a Zoom call, and that's your sales call, and then you convert them from there. And that's also been working. Now I work with a wonderful team out of Kenya, and we've been together since last year, since the beginning of the year, since the beginning of this year. So it was like December, and it's been fabulous. It's been really great. We've gelled. We really have learned about each other. We've learned about what type of person works, what type of person doesn't work for us. And it's still a tough nut to crack. And I made mistakes. I hired LinkedIn experts who promised to get me leads, and they never could, and they never did. And we are ourselves just continually trying different scripts and different hooks and different things to different messaging to be able to reach out to them and get them to reach back out to us. The number 5 way that I get clients is, believe it or not, speaking. That's one of the biggest ones. I mean, the majority of my $30,000 clients come from speaking. And now, of course, I've been relegated to speaking virtually, and it is way more difficult to close sales through speaking virtually, that I found, because there's just a lesser impact than being your full body on stage, gesturing, talking. People get your energy. You're able to convince more. I feel like there's a reduced efficacy. I don't know if most speakers would feel that way, but thank God for virtual speaking, because even though I'm still stuck in Canada, I'm able to make a living, and I'm able to break sales records in my business, which is amazing. It's amazing. Then the last piece of the funnel, lifting behind the curtain to look at my sales funnel, is referrals. Of course, I talked about that. I don't actively, work referrals. I have gotten them, and I do give people who have given me referrals that have worked out. I've given them, a fee. Even though they don't do it for that, because if people don't think you can help them or their friends, it doesn't matter how much money you give them, they're not going to refer you. But so that's one way that's been working for me. But I'm 9-10 years in the business, so that may not be an option for you if you're newer, or if it's a new niche, or you've pivoted. But definitely, you can absolutely, with clients, we launch referral programs, cross referral programs, sliding scale referral fees. It could absolutely be a go-to market funnel that you work within your entire marketing plan. So those are some of the ways. Now, the one that I don't use as well or as actively is the joint ventures. Although, like the summit that I talked about, that would be a joint venture. But I don't have strategic partnership programs. Like I have clients that only use strategic partnerships to get into large clients, and it's a phenomenal way to grow if you can find the right partners. If you know exactly who you help and exactly who their partners are, then you're really clear about who you want to joint venture with, because then that could be your entire funnel. Is you just go out and you call as many of them and have as many meetings with them as you can to introduce yourself, and then introduce like a cross referral program to them. So those are just things I have not even had the bandwidth, to be frank, to reach out to. But I have been referred through programs and through joint venture, initiatives like email joint ventures. But it's just not been something that I have actively pursued. But it's absolutely something you can as well. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. I was also toying with, maybe next week I'll do this, I don't know, but the mental work, because one of the Tuesday tea times, I think, I can't remember. I'm trying to look at where was it that I actually did the wheel? I did a whole mindset one a couple of weeks back, and it was literally taking you through the thought process of doing the wheel. And I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it's based on a book written by Abraham Hicks. And so I'm going to take you through all of the mental stuff that I did in the last month to just blow it out of the water, because sales had been slow and I was really, really determined to kick it up a notch. And I did it, and I did it mostly through the mindset work, because all of these funnels always exist, so they're always coming in. But when I kicked it in mentally, everything started to pull together, everything started to fall together. So I want to pull the curtain back to show you what my mental game is, because it always works. Like, it always works. It doesn't matter what part of my life I use it for. It doesn't matter when I use it. When I turn on the jets, and for me, my big challenge is the continuity of it, so that I don't pull back and then jet engine, pull back and jet engine. Is that my maintenance is always at that jet engine, in terms of my mindset, in terms of the mental acuity, awareness, and like keeping ahead of the game. So that's my next challenge. New level, new devil, you guys. I'm still trying to catch my revenue from 2019, because that was my best year ever. It was like a record year. So yeah, I've got the big glass dream house that I'm dreaming of. Yes, I live in a glass condo, but it's a condo. It's small, right? So I've got my big dreams, and I want to hear about yours. I want to see if, a surprising number of people are watching my Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. Maybe they like tea. Maybe they like hearing about all my diets. I have no idea. But if you're one of them, don't be a lurker. Leave a comment, say something, and tell me about your life, and tell me about your sales funnels, and tell me about what are your thoughts about some of these things. All right, guys, until next week, take care.